Hello everybody, welcome back. We are still with Canva and we are working with that 30-day free trial, and if you need that link is in the description below. While you're at it, do subscribe to our channel and drop a comment below and let us know how we can help you design anything on canva.com. Alright, so on our previous videos we have done Instagram posts, we have done Facebook posts, stories, we have done cover arts for your channel on YouTube, and we have even done cards as well. Well, today we're going to work with something a little bit different. Today we're going to be working exactly with the template for resumes. So clicking on resumes here, and we can go ahead and get it started. So, of course, everybody wants that perfect job. And everybody really wants their resume to really stand out and be special. Well, Canva is going to allow that to do for you. So, with that, we can really design and get that picture really standing out for your, hopefully your future employer, and we can really kind of customize it here as well. Now, looking here, we have these subcategories. We have the modern, simple, like an infographic, minimalist, corporate, creative, photo, colorful, acting, academic, graphic design, college, high school, and scholarship. All of these are great. You can even start with a blank resume as well. Right. For me, I guess it really depends on what you're looking for. For example, if you're looking for like a, let's say you're working for a graphic design. Of course, you're really going to want something more like this, right? So to really just show your creativity, and with infographics as well, skills, you're going to really be able to put that in. You really want to grab attention of your employer for any of them. But sometimes with corporate, they do like a more professional CV or a resume, right? So you can choose any of these as well. So we can really stand out with them too. So as you can see that most of them are actually going to be some kind of like plain Jane, right? So depending on how you want them, right? So your personal information from like right here, let's show this one. Personal information, your photo, right? And it depends on really what country you're in. I know I'm being abroad for myself and working abroad. In some places, they love to have a picture of you in the top, and some companies, they don't really care for that. So again, it depends on where you're at. So if you know your companies or your future companies or your country's really style and really what they like, this is where it's going to really play a big part in how you design it. So what I'm designing is for what I have here in the US. So you can kind of play with it either way, right? So maybe we'll do a little bit of both, right? So just so you can see, and so it's look at it as a bit of a disclaimer, right? So I'm not showing you how to create exactly the perfect resume, but I'm going to show you how you can adjust it for yourself, right? So just a heads up here. So let's see, Jamie Chastain, that's pretty cool. Now let's go with this one. I think this is going to kind of follow some international kind of CVs here, which I really like. All right. So let's customize this template, right? And if you remember before, we were showing if you like this design, like it, right? You can save it as well. Now, so how everything else with Canva, when you highlight over different parts, as you can see, right? It kind of highlights. It's the same deal here. So bear that in mind. And look, I know when we just load up here, it looks like, man, I can't really see that. So right here on the bottom, you'll see notes, and to the right, you're going to be able to zoom in on that. That's just for you to be able to see. All right, so make that a little bit easier for you, right? Okay, now let's get started with first that background color here, that header color. I don't like it. I can double click, and when you do, you have up to the top with the color, right? That's already here. This is for the template. Of course, if you want to do differently, you can. And you would just actually come down to color and blocks and do the same and just stack everything together. So stack to kind of layer it on top. But since this one's already done for us, we're going to just kind of use this, right? I know I hate writing CVs. I really, really hate it. So I'm always looking for like a template to kind of go by to really make that a little bit different, right? So this is why I really love Canva too for this. It saves me a lot of time. So you can just kind of just change some elements and it saves you a lot of time. Even if you think about it this way, if you're looking maybe for several different jobs, but they all require different different styles, right? Like let's say we're doing for like a corporate, we're doing one for maybe like you have a employer that's a free, he hires freelancers and you should change it too a little bit. This is where that's going to be really cool, because once you create one really quickly, you can actually save it, download it, name it, and save it, and then come back to all in the same day and just change just a little bit here. And that's what's going to make that really, really cool. So let's get back to creating the color. Right, so we can do like this purple color, whichever for the background. I'm going to do blue. I think blue really stands out too. If we're speaking about like for jobs, red really stands out too. If you notice, a lot of bankers, a lot of banks actually wear a lot of red. And psychologically speaking, that's actually because red unintentionally actually brings you to have trust. I know that sounds weird, but that's what they do. I know working in a bank for myself, that red, we wore red shirts or a red tie, or we had some kind of red, and that really shows that, hey, you can trust me. I have your business. You're in your best interest in our business for us. So don't worry about that. All right, so we have the picture here, right? So the picture. Let's get to that. I am going to delete this picture. Let's see, we can detach the image. And you see there, it's put down, and I'm going to delete it. And delete the image. Let's see, it's not wanting to do that. So let's make it smaller and move it over here. Because right now, it's my internet that's giving me a bit of the problem. So we're going to delete. Let's see, it will delete in just a moment. All right. So coming to images or photos, right? We can choose, let's go to photos. Let's say, because I'm a man, right? I'm just gonna put man for photos, young man, and I like him. So we'll do that. It's still not wanting to get lost. So, and it's only because of my internet, it's just not picking up. So typically when you delete, it's going to delete, right? So with a guy, put him here, and we can make small, and we can come up and put this here. Now it's kind of a bit of a square, not a problem, and we can crop it as well, the same, and we can filter effects, right? We can go to effects and the background remover. We can change his background as well, and we can kind of change the style of that picture for you, and you can see as it goes, right? And we can do volley, let's see, and you can see, okay, really puts out there, perfect. And you also have like duotone, apply a 2-color palette, right? Color mix, like bad TV effects, glitch effects, right? So this is not really going to apply to us, right? But we do want a frame. So we're going to connect with frames, and we're going to add some frames for us. And that shows like laptop, phone, how that looks, right? Tablet white as well. Polaroid black, neon blue, neon yellow, right? Silver, white, paint strokes, paint corners, right? A gold circle as well, and we can do that. And you can see now that circle. Now, so that's how, as you've seen in the other picture, right, that happened, was exactly that when that picture, because we detached the picture, and that's what happened for us. And I'm just going to move it over, right? And we can do the same too. Set image as background as well. But we don't want to do that. We're just making this here, and we're going to make it kind of somewhat symmetrical and center line here. And Jamie Chastain, and here we go. Alright, now depending on the font that you like, it depends, right? Jamie Chastain. We can put, so just highlight Joseph M. Smith, right? M. Smith. That's his name, and there we go. And I'm going to move that up. And he's a software developer. We can change that as well. And we can say he is now a graphic designer. Right, and there we go. And of course, when you select, you can change the font how you want and really kind of work with it how you want as well. Now the colors we can do is it really puts a, let's see, make it symmetrical here. There we go. And that's what I want. I want to make everything symmetrical. The same for graphic design, and you can do all of that the same based. There we go. Now we have everything symmetrical, as you can see. You can change the font as well by coming to and doing this. We can profile the same. It's just the box. You know, we can do this as well. And when you go to text box, you can add text box as well if you mess up or make a problem. Alright, so my profile. And we can change this to like my skills, right? My skills, and you can change however you want, even with the font color. The same, just highlight the color, or highlight the text, and we can change the color to how you feel is best. Maybe you want black, right? Or maybe you want red, right? Or whatever be how you want. Even the boxes, if you wanted to be really creative, you can move the boxes the same, the text boxes, and just kind of move them like this way to really make it a little special. Again, it depends on like what you're trying to achieve here, but I like that. I think that's pretty cool for me. And I'm a software developer with a robust, right? I am a graphic designer with enormous, right? Enormous potential and let's see, enormous potential and enthusiasm. Whatever you want to put, right? So blah 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 blah, and you put your skills, of course, the same. All right. So we've done the banner, we've done the picture. Here we got our guy, your picture, and if you need to upload a picture for this, you can upload the picture here with images as well, right here on the left-hand side for uploads. And that's how you're going to be able to find. Don't go to photos. I went to photos because I don't have a picture of myself to put here. But I did go to upload, and you can go to uploads to upload that one picture that you are going to use for your CV. So you have that. The same, we can put here, we can move the box a little bit over and do them like this, right? And do the same. Now, this is just our deal, right? This is mine. And here's the line. We can actually change the line as well. When we come over to elements, you can do the lines like this one, and let's go over. Let's see here, and here's your lines. So I'm going to delete this for now, and I'm going to put this line. And I'm going to replace over, and I can stretch this out for however long that I need, right? This is just me customizing it, and I can change the color to maybe red again for that. Now you can kind of see what that looks like. Now there's another line that we can do, and you can choose one of these, and I'm going to choose this one. And let me delete this first. And now when I click on it, I want to rotate and make it a 90-degree angle. And now I'm going to drag down about where the other one was. Right, and I can still stretch this out too. And I can drop it and leave it. Right, and the same, you can have that same line here as well. So let's click on it, and when we do here, we can kind of change the ending tip, as you can see. Right, we can do something like this. That's the ending tip, and one starts here, and it can change. So you can change each individual end. Right, so if you want something like a block, like it stops, right? So you can come here and do this. Now, when we do, we can make that line dots, we can make it like this, so another way, right? Coming back, we do the thickness or the line weight, right? So like how big and how fat it is, right? And you can change that up. You can make it really small, or let's see, I'll just have it here, right? And so clicking on the line, and we have that, and change the color. Now you can, of course, if you're going to send a digital, I guess, maybe if you're working really for a graphic design and you want to send a digital CV, that would be pretty cool. I know if I'm hiring for a graphic designer, he's like, hey, look, here's my paper copy of my CV or my resume, and here is also, I've sent to your email, my my digital copy of this. And then I open it up and it's like, right, it's super cool. I think so. I think it's very interesting. But either way, even if you do choose the animation for both, if you print it off as, or if you download it, like for example, when you download it, it says MP4 video, and that's because I added the animation. You can download it as a PNG, a JPEG, PDF standard, PDF print, right, as well. And so, of course, I can send it as an MP4 video later on. So you can do that and just download it and save it as well. You can print the letterhead. You can pay for it for 50 copies. Or you can just download it and save it yourself and do the same. So it's your choice. If you want them to make copies for you and print, you can. Or you can print it yourself. Now, let's get to the more important thing. Maybe you have a lot more information, and this is where you're going to be able to move those boxes. Because you have that ability, it's going to be much better. So if you have like a lot of skills to put, you obviously are going to have to move this stuff down, right? So you can just go to Add Page. And you have an extra page, right? And so you can duplicate the page as well. So let me delete this, right? And if you're worried like, oh man, that was so cool, like I want to keep this, this, and this, that's cool too. So when you come down, you come up, you can duplicate the page. And you can have it right there. And then you can just kind of like, for example, delete this stuff, right? And you can have like skills or whatever, right? And I'm just going to delete these. So I'm just click and delete the boxes here. There we go. Oh, okay. All right. And now we have like our line already. Now you can see this stuff right here, right? Let's see. All right. Now we have that blank template without all of these boxes, right? So if you're continuing on, especially with like my skills, let's see. A good way, because we have that header line, even I kept the header line, but if you don't, if you want to make it smaller, for example, you can do this. And now like all of this, because if you just move one, it's going to kind of set everything up. You got a lot of work to do, but you can exactly select all of it, right click as well. When you select all of it, you see how it makes this huge box, so it's going to move everything. And you can move it up for you. And that way you kind of don't have to do all that extra work moving the lines. And then you'll come and you can add text, right? So a body of a text. And now you have that body, and we can kind of change it out here. And you'll just have like my skills continue, blah, blah, blah. Blah, 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 right? And it continues through. And of course you can change the font, the color, the boldness, all of that as well. And you can kind of continue down the same. And even when you have this, like you can copy and you can paste it as well. And see, these actions are available using the right click menu, but you can use this, right? So to copy, to paste, so Control V. Control V. And you can do that. And you can kind of like copy it. Control C, right? We copied that. And then coming down, for example, click on this box, Control V, and you'll actually paste it. So you can do all of that. Delete that for now, and let's see. All right. So now, once you have all of this, you can, and again, you can, when you duplicate the page too, if you want to keep this the same, you can just also duplicate the page and just drag it over from one page to the next. Like how to reach me. All right. So I'm gonna come down and the same. So you can bring it down even, because this information continues, right? And we can make that the same as you're creating that. So for example, you need more information, you continue typing. It's going to stay within inside of the box, and the box is just going to get longer and longer and longer. So when you do that, it'll just continue down, and then you can bring it down to the other pages, continue. And all the same with these boxes. So we can just drag, come down and drop. And that's how you're gonna be able to create the multiple pages. If you need more space, right, for the template. So just duplicate the page if you want to keep the line the same, right? Maybe you don't want to keep that. Doesn't really need, it's not really spacing anything out. But you can do it. And it takes longer for me to do. And let's say if you made a huge mistake, right, you can just trash the whole page. And as long as you have this, for example, you can copy it. So even sometimes it's better to make multiple copies. So if you're just like wanting to kind of continue, you can duplicate the page as many times as you need. As you can see, it just keeps duplicating. And there's our copies here that just didn't want to show up just yet. And so, because based on your internet too, it can take a while. Mine takes a while, but there was the copies. So how to reach me, right? So my internet's bad, so it takes a second to delete, so forgive me for that. But that's how you're going to be able to do your CV. So you can, so definitely remember to duplicate the page, and you can play with it, especially if you're worried about making a mistake. So duplicate it, and then start changing everything if you want. It's very, very easy. And then when you finish, of course, download, share the link if you need to, email it, right, or even save it, share it with Google Drive, however you want. And you can just download here, right, and click, and all 5 pages, or save download settings, right, etc. And that's how you're going to do it. So guys, that is your resume creation. I hope you enjoyed it. Do subscribe to our channel. Drop a comment below, let us know what you think. And if you need any of those links for how to start with that 30-day free trial, that's in the description as well, guys. All right, so I will see you soon. Have a wonderful week.